Good morning, guys. How are we all doing? So Dan from Trading with Dan here. This is our Bitcoin morning update. So if you guys wouldn't mind smashing that like button, and we shall go straight over to those Bitcoin charts. So yeah, Bitcoin, as you can see, yesterday we were looking at it, testing this lower level here. Which we did actually take out. Try to move lower on a couple of occasions here, as you can see, but we were basically supported by what is actually these closures here. So obviously with this price action now, we can lower the we'll lower the this lower support level. The short-term low support level. Obviously, this is a more, I think this is a more substantial support level, but we will lower this down to here. So I've taken out this level. Well, then that will potentially accelerate us into around this, to testing this around 40k level. So it does look like we are forming a nice range here, which will basically between the bottom side of, well, call it 44,000. And then the upper side of well, just over 48,000, of which we're not actually far off now. I'll just straighten that line out. So yeah, we've got this sideways range here. Obviously the middle of the range, as you know, is important, which is pretty much denoted by this target that we had anyway, which is basically where we've come up to, and obviously you can see hovered around. So yeah, basically got us in the middle of the range, the top of the range, and the bottom of the range. Obviously breaking above the top of the range, we've got these targets around 52. Breaking below the bottom, we've got these targets around 40. And that is as simple as that. Just waiting to see what happens. So yeah, could we just trade sideways here over the course of the weekend? Well, well, it's not the weekend yet anyway. First and foremost, it's only Friday, and we've got pretty much this whole trading day to go. But yeah, obviously, my bias is to lean towards sideways over the weekend anyway. So yeah, I mean sideways between 48 and 44. That does leave us quite a lot of leeway for $4,000 to play with. But yeah, we could get some wicks up above, some fake outs above, some fake outs below. But yeah, my bias over the weekend is always reversion to the mean. So yeah. That is Bitcoin really. Looking like we're getting in one of our ranges, consolidating. Before we well, hopefully have a blast back on up to the upside again. Ethereum Bitcoin here is looking a tad bit troubling. We were looking at yesterday at this horizontal on this trend line, which was basically a do or die moment for Ethereum to break above, to get moving, and it failed that test, and we are now back again down at this horizontal. So this is not looking good. This is not looking good for basically the people that are bullish of this chart. We can extend this horizontal down a bit more, probably extend it all the way down to this level, because this could be where we're heading if we don't break above, if we don't start to get moving. But again, we're down at this low here, so well, it's going to be a simple case of do we break above well, the trend line, but really more realistically this horizontal here, to put in a higher higher high here relative to these levels, or are we going to keep coming down, take out this horizontal, in which case we'll be looking at the 33s basically, which is I would have to say is looking potentially the more likely scenario. But you never know. If Bitcoin does trade sideways over the weekend, then people could then look to Ethereum, to start making some plays. As you can see, the US dollar pairing is consolidating at this high, so this is looking like it could break up. And that could potentially, if Bitcoin is obviously trading sideways, by implication that will mean the Ethereum Bitcoin pairing will go up. So yeah, this could start to get a movement, could start to get a bit of attention. The other proxy for this, Bitcoin dominance, as you can see, Bitcoin dominance as a whole though is not looking so bad. This is looking like this can come down in the respect that obviously this is the inverse to that actual pairing here. So this coming down is akin to the Ethereum Bitcoin pairing going up. But obviously the Ethereum Bitcoin pairing was looking like it was going to come down, so that would be akin to this going up. But this is actually looking like it does want to come down. So, other altcoins on the whole are pulling their weight against Bitcoin, whereas Ethereum is not doing so well at the moment. So, yeah, that's basically really that. But yeah, this is looking bearish, looking for potential downside here. We obviously have sufficiently flirted with this horizontal to the point where we should just basically smash it now. So yes, over to stocks. Stocks looking good, holding up here, looking good. Yeah, I mean, you can see we've got a bit of a symmetrical triangle here. Not far off the apex. Will we make a move before Friday's close, for today's close, or will we get going? Or will we just drift sideways in that pennant? 10-year not doing too much. DXY, how is DXY doing? Yeah, DXY having a pull back to this horizontal. So yeah, we basically lost this trend line, lost this horizontal. Well, basically pull back into the mid-range of these two. And yeah, bounce back up, and now currently above this horizontal, looking to try and establish price above here, which would actually not look the most bearish price action, to be honest, because obviously we'll clearly have a low, high, low, and higher low, and obviously a high, 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 and high, whichever you want to call these, either there or there, both of these separate, or either that high, high. So yeah, could be looking to put in a play back to the upside, but you know my bias here is that we are potentially just going to get rejected here and come back down. That would be my bias. So we will have to see what happens there. Not much else I really want to look at on here. Silver just, as you can see, hanging around in a somewhat triangle of its own. Gold silver ratio, yeah, obviously pulled back a bit from this spike low, obviously on the Wall Street bets people. So, and then gold itself not looking too tough either. So yeah, but yeah, precious metals under pressure basically. So right, we'll have a quick look at the stochastics. Is it looking like we are going to get a bust up through this level and onwards and upwards today, or are we going to trade sideways in this tight range, or are we going to trade lower? What are the stochastics potentially telling us? So yeah, 4 hour looking like it could start to turn down. So 4 hour, yeah, looking a bit tired here. 10 hour, I suspect this, yeah, I mean, this is tightening up. It can obviously hold up here, but if it just starts to turn down, which it is starting to tick down now, this could obviously just take us to the bottom of that range. 12 hour also holding up there, but if it ticks down, it basically could just take us to the bottom of this range here around 44. The daily stochastic, yeah, I mean, again, you can see price action can stay up here, but if we do start to move down, well, we'll be looking at the bottom of the range, if not lower, if daily starts to get going to the downside. 2 days still strong though, so this is what kind of tells me that realistically, if we get a pullback, it will just be to that 44k and then bounce from there. Because 2 day looking great, 3 day looking really good, 5 day turning back up. Weekly looking to turn back up, bi-weekly potentially looking to turn back up, and monthly obviously had a bit of a kink at one point, but now is turning back up. So the read from this for me is, yeah, it's basically a sideways consolidation before breaking back up, potentially coming down to 44k. These are very specific reads from just a quick whiz through some stochastics, but yeah, that's kind of what we're looking at here. Obviously over the weekend we are going to have that daily well, potentially daily 9 come in. Obviously price action is going to drift higher, because if we start to close well lower than here, then yeah, we will price flip before that. But yeah, potential daily 9 incoming. Yeah, 12 hour 9 there, didn't obviously gave us sideways to down 1 to 4 candles, but yeah, daily 9 potentially incoming. So on Sunday, so yeah, could we have a bit of a, well, as you guys know, acceleration into the 9, maybe up to this up to over 50k, and then then actually that would look quite nice for a potential pullback into only into like the mid, well, just into our range here, the mid 44k's. So an acceleration to the 50k's on this 9, pulling back. Obviously it goes contrary to what I'm saying with sideways price action over the weekend, but I mean, it doesn't, that's just a trend that I see that happens maybe 70% of the time, but 30% of the time we can do obviously the opposite. But yeah, maybe we're going to get an acceleration to about 50k, and then trade sideways to down to where our catch point will be. Obviously 46, 47k would be ideal. If not, we've got this level around 40k. But yeah, that would actually be quite a nice pullback. That would be, obviously you can see we've broken above this high here, not really back tested it. So if we do get an acceleration into the 50k, come back and back test this breakout level here, which was obviously incidentally was the last previous day, well, the previous daily 9 there. Obviously not this one here. Then we nearly got one here. But yeah, then yeah, onwards, and we could blast off from that point. So. Yeah, that is it, guys. Remember, this is not a financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Always do your own research, and I shall... Well, yeah, I think I should speak to you guys later on today, because I think I am going to try and get stuck into this Binance Smart Chain. Yeah, because obviously, whilst Ethereum fees are really high, that is definitely excluding certain traders from Uniswap and Ethereum trading, so I'm definitely going to have a gander around that good old Binance Smart Chain. You guys will know I don't like Binance. I don't like centralized exchanges. I literally don't have any funds on Binance anymore. And I have the only centralized exchange I'm currently using. Well, actually, there's a couple of other smaller ones for like the odd coins, but I do have some Chainx on MXC, and I was just contemplating taking it off. And just putting it in the Polkadot Chainx wallet. But yeah, I just kind of like how I can put the limit orders and stuff in there. So I have actually taken probably about half of the Chainx is off there. And then half is on there. So yeah, anyway, my point is I don't particularly like centralized exchanges. Obviously, Binance might pretend it's decentralized, whatever it might pretend, but it isn't. Basically, they wanted to basically centralize Bitcoin itself and run back the Bitcoin network because of a hack. CZ did. So the guy so far from any form of decentralization it is unreal. So don't listen to anything he tries to say or claim. But either way, money is money. Trading is about capital flows. Crypto especially about capital flows. Capital flows look like they could be going towards that Binance Smart Chain, albeit temporarily for however long. Who knows? But I think we should, I personally think I should be diverting some of my capital to try and potentially ride that wave. So thanks for listening, guys, and I shall speak to you later.